So this is a natural health and beauty video on hair care and, if needed, hair repair. So before I get into the details on natural and healthy hair care, I want to say, first of all, for the makeup that I'm wearing right now, I did use what I call my no makeup method, which is just an incredibly light makeup method that goes a long way for how little time you spend on it. So you can check out that video as well. And then I'd also like to say that the top that I'm currently wearing is courtesy of my mom, and it came from her boutique called Upscale Resale in St. Louis. So I definitely recommend it. It's very trendy and excellent prices. Okay, so first I'll just start off with a few general tips that apply to all hair types. When you use products, you want products that don't have parabens or sulfates or harsh salts. For instance, sulfates are the equivalent of using a detergent type product. So that's one way to think about it in terms of how serious it is. It's very harsh for hair, which is delicate. So if you wouldn't add laundry detergent to your shampoo, then you don't want a shampoo with sulfates in it. So look for a shampoo that uses, and any products really, that uses natural ingredients that aren't too harsh for the hair. Another thing that's really important in terms of hair health and even styling, especially heat styling, is that the hair be clear of residue. That's critical. And so that's going to be a bit of a challenge, because you don't want to use a harsh shampoo, but you also want to make sure your hair is clear of residue, which I will talk about how to balance that in a minute. And the other major tip I have is that if your ends are really bad, definitely cut them off. Dead weight is not helpful in any area of life, and definitely not helpful in terms of your hair. After I cut off the dead weight, my hair has been so much softer, so much healthier, and I've been retaining at least 1 inch of length a month. And so one of the keys in terms of taking care of your hair is retaining length, which means reducing breakage and also giving your hair what it needs to grow and flourish. Okay, so I do what I call the hair cycle. And there are 3 components of that: conditioning, cleansing, and maintenance. And so I call these components as opposed to steps, because if you're really going to take care of your hair in a way that's more natural and you're still giving your hair what you need, each component of the hair cycle is actually going to require several different steps. There's no one-size-fits-all product. Okay, so the first step, conditioning. I would recommend for any hair type that you make your own deep conditioner. So find a conditioner that has really good ingredients. For instance, I use a smoothing conditioner, which is very helpful for straightening your hair. So if you know you're going to be heat styling, you might want to use a smoothing conditioner. And then I mix my smoothing conditioner product in with olive oil, a tiny amount of honey, and then this keratin oil product, which is useful for some hair types to strengthen the hair. So you know your hair, depending on how thick it is and how much moisture it absorbs, then use your own discretion as you mix up your deep conditioner in terms of how much of each ingredient. Obviously with the honey, you're going to want very little. Honey attracts moisture and water. So lots of really good conditioners actually have chemicals in them that are replicating what honey does. And so your hair can benefit from having a little bit more. So whip up your own deep conditioner. Wet the hair first. Hair absorbs product better when it's wet. It's almost pointless to try to really moisturize your hair when it's dry. So wet it first, add your deep conditioner. And add as much as your hair will take. Stop adding once it looks like your hair is not absorbing anymore. And then you're going to want to put your hair into a protective style. A protective style is just a hairstyle that protects the hair from the elements. So for me, I'm wearing a protective style in my other videos that are posted, like the makeup, no makeup video, the deep cleansing video. Okay, so depending on what your hair needs, that should determine how long you leave the deep conditioner in. So for me, my hair is incredibly thick, incredibly thirsty. I actually leave in my deep conditioner for days at a time. Okay, so that is conditioning. Obviously several steps there. You're going to need to investigate a good conditioner that uses natural ingredients. Add in ingredients yourself, such as olive oil, a little bit of honey, maybe keratin oil. And then figure out how much time you need to leave the conditioner in your hair while wearing a protective style that allows you to do that. So then the next concept is cleansing. So if you're going to use gentle natural products, the cleansing element of caring for your hair is actually going to take several steps. So say you have that deep conditioner in your hair. After I go through a deep conditioning phase, the next thing I do is I rinse my hair in hot water with apple cider vinegar added to it. So I use organic apple cider vinegar, a relatively small amount compared to how much hot water. And basically, when you get organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, it has protein in it that's really good for your hair. And it's also just a really excellent cleanser. And so I'm trying to get out, all those heavy deep conditioning products that I put in my hair. And so for me, I may add it to a mixing bowl such as this one, add hot water, and then set it on the floor and tilt my head back and rinse it as thoroughly as I can. Okay, so after that step, I rinse the hair, I pat it dry with a towel, and then I add a conditioning shampoo to my hair. So the particular conditioning shampoo I use is called Coconut Co-Wash. So for this step, I would pick out just an incredibly gentle, super conditioning shampoo. And the reason for that is that when you put the shampoo in your wet hair, it is going to be cleansing the hair, and you're working on getting rid of residue at the same time that you're giving the hair moisture. And so for me, during this step, I may leave it in for no longer than overnight. I put my hair in a protective style so it doesn't dry as fast. I recommend leaving it in so long as the hair is wet so it can have maximum time in your hair. So then the next step after that would be to do the apple cider vinegar rinse again in hot water, just to make sure you're clearing all of the residue. Okay, so after that, at some point later, whenever works for you, as long as your hair is still a little bit moist, then you're going to want to wash your hair more traditionally, maybe in the shower, with a really good cleansing shampoo, but one that does not use sulfates, parabens, or harsh salts. This is the shampoo that I use. So it's called L'Oreal Eversleek Keratin Caring Shampoo. And then the other product I mentioned earlier, L'Oreal Eversleek Smoothing Conditioner, which helps with straightening hair. So now at this final cleansing step, I wash my hair thoroughly with the L'Oreal Eversleek Keratin Shampoo, and I rinse it super, super thoroughly. And then after that, my hair is ready to be styled. And I would recommend in days between your final shampooing step and then your next deep conditioning step, make sure to add moisture to your hair for maintenance. You may use a keratin spray or even add keratin oil. You also may use coconut oil to moisturize your hair, just giving it as much as it needs, and if you need to, wetting your hair slightly so that it will absorb the product. Just be careful that when it comes to using heat tools to style your hair, that your hair is completely clear of residue, and try to limit as much as possible flat ironing especially. I try to limit myself to actually touching the flat iron to my hair 2 times a month, maximum. Additionally, when I blow dry, I use a round brush like this. and grab sections of the hair and point the blow dryer at it, and it evenly distributes the heat. This is an excellent tool for making sure that your hair doesn't get too dry or too exhausted from the heat of the blow dryer. Okay, that's all.